Welcome back to Simon Reacts with myself, Josh, and Vic. Today, we're looking at 10 genius kids who became millionaires overnight.
So we can copy them and we can do
Sounds like me.
Jeez, okay, come on, Josh. Come on, you're feeling yourself. I rate
When I was like 4, yeah, bro, just started selling snails.
What did you waste it all on?
Whores and cocaine.
Wow.
At the age of 4.
Wait, but you became a millionaire at 6?
Oh, again after that.
And on that note, let's watch the video.
Start the video.
Kids definitely have the capacity for great creativity, and sometimes that can translate into big bucks. We'll show you some absolutely incredible inventions made by children that made their creators a ton of money. You might be surprised by how simple yet life-changing some of these creations are. Before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button to catch up on the latest videos from The Things. Now, let's begin. Making bacon.
Making bacon.
There are few things in this world as satisfying as biting into a crispy strip of perfectly cooked bacon. But anyone who has ever been splattered with bacon grease knows that preparing bacon can be a real pain sometimes. Thankfully, there's now an easy and painless way to cook up vast quantities of bacon right at home. Grease is the nemesis of the bacon fan, since it not only splatters, but can soak into the bacon, adding even more fat and calories. When she was only 8 years old, Abby Fleck came up with a way to avoid cooking bacon in a pool of grease. The Making Bacon device is so simple that you
I've used one like
just
that.
place the bacon on the stand, which prevents it from simmering
Really? I've
in
never
its own
seen
grease.
that ever.
You then put the bacon
It was
covered
gross, I
device
didn't like
in the
it.
microwave and
I
cook
put it
it
in the
until the
microwave.
bacon is
Got
done.
you.
It's a fantastically simple plan, and Abby even made her first prototype out of a plastic
So you can make a bacon sandwich in the microwave very
Finally,
quickly.
she ended
And
up
it's
being
decent.
able to patent her idea, and then struck a distribution deal with Walmart. Her grandfather helped her finance the first 100,000 models, and it turns out that was a great investment.
Go on,
This
the
small
granddad.
piece of plastic has already earned Abby millions of dollars. Now all we need is a simple gadget for making bacon pancakes.
While she was doing that, I was playing
There are
Spyro.
so many incredible things to be seen underwater that it can be frustrating not being able to communicate about them. This was the situation that 11-year-old Richie Stokowski found himself in during a family vacation to Hawaii. He found himself wishing that he could talk underwater and decided to find a way to make that possible. The process started with some research, which helped Richie determine that there was no current device like the one he was looking for. So he switched
He did one
focus and
Google
started
search.
learning about the fascinating
Did some
science
research.
of underwater acoustics. After the research phase, he started developing prototypes for his device. He contacted the management staff of his local pool and got permission to try out his device underwater. Finally, he created a device called the water talkie. This conical device
This is
has
a toy,
a blow
though.
valve and a plastic membrane. It may look simple, but allows swimmers to
And it
communicate
works,
with one another underwater.
It
By
just-
using the water
I'll be
talkie,
honest.
you can tell your friend about a
This
fascinating
one is not
fish
as
from
impressive
far
as the bacon
15
one.
feet away. Richie and his mother started a company called Short
Like, this
Slash
does not
LLC
help
and
many
started
people.
getting
Realistically,
orders
It's a
from
toy,
the
so it's not even a
At
thing.
age
I know
13,
this is
he
a-
sold his
yeah,
company
pause
to
it,
Wild
pause it.
Planet Toy.
I said how much you sell it for. He just said
It said million. Oh, the product. Was it like 15 quid? I thought it said
no, the company. It said his company for millions.
How does the first kid get a patent for it? Like when you're 6 or 7 or 8 or whatever.
The granddad found it all.
No, he said he invested.
Yeah, he probably found all the papers as well. Like the parents really didn't even believe in the kid, and then he went to his granddad and was like, "Yeah, fuck it."
Donnie better get a big percentage, you know, because he's doing all the work. She just drew up a little coat, hang your bacon over this, and that'll work. And then he's figured it all out.
What could we invent? I want to invent the same.
Go on, say a word right now, random word.
Cheese.
Okay, Vic, say a word.
Slicer.
That you thought a random word. You thought a word to a mine. Start again. You go first, Vic. Think of a word.
Light.
Plug.
You thought a word to do with them?
No, I had my word in my head already. I had it in my head already. I looked at it.
I'm going to do a random word generator, and we're going to create whatever the first 2 words are together, okay?
What's going on?
All right, we're going to create a Graze official.
Right.
Slide door. That's a thing.
Yep.
Reckless jurisdiction. This is getting deep. I'm gonna stop.
No, none of that.
Alright, you know, let's see what they invented, because we ain't got it. We ain't got it right now.
Locker paper. Decorating your locker is a huge part of school for most kids. It's an exciting chance to show off your
We didn't have
personality
lockers.
and make the place you store your textbooks
you?
a little bit more cheerful.
We
the
did,
only
but ours
challenge
weren't
is
like
getting things to stick to the metal surface of the locker. 14-year-old Sarah Buckle found that she often had to resort to copious amounts of tape in order to get things to hang in her locker properly. But then at the end of the year,
They hang
she
stuff in
found
American
herself
lockers.
struggling to scrape off the remnants of tape. Sarah knew that there had to be a better
Yo,
way
this
to
beat about
decorate
to
her
drop.
locker and decided to create one.
Ooh.
Her father works for a company
turning
called
up.
Magna Card, and Sarah brought her idea to him. He admitted that his company sold products that were a bit dull, and he was ecstatic with the idea that his daughter had come up with. Not only did Sarah come up with an amazing idea, but she worked to choose colors and patterns that would appeal to kids and make the product a success. The idea was a hit, and major retailers such as Target,
This is actually a
Rite Aid,
sick
and
idea.
Staples
I never-
couldn't wait to get the magnetic locker
So
wall
simple
paper
as well.
on their shelves. This brilliant
One the
idea earned Sarah over $1 million.
mermaid kid that can talk underwater.
Crayon Holder. Many adults look back fondly to their childhood as a time when they didn't have any problems. But kids have problems as well. They're just a different kind. 11-year-old Cassidy Goldstein struggled with a problem that all kids know about, and it had to do with crayons. They're a great coloring implement, but they do tend to break and dull over time. Coloring can then become a challenge. In addition to being messy,
What is that drawing,
Cassidy
by the
found
way?
a plastic tube.
Wait, there was a butt.
Fresh and slipped one.
That was a child's drawing.
Rewind
There
it.
was a naked ass.
There's a guy on the right's doing some gym fails.
His head is in his own arse.
Go back to one of our videos previously to that one.
In addition to being messy,
Wait, go
Cassidy found a
back,
plastic
sorry.
tube.
Go back to, look at the left-hand side. Go up 6 lines.
Wait!
She promised me a blowjob if I can prove how flexible I am by doing a back bend.
That's what I'm saying. This ain't a kid's thing, man.
What's
His
going
head
on?
is in his own arse.
Wait!
There's a little...
Then she makes me strip, and before undressing herself, she promises me a blowjob if I can prove how flexible I am by doing a back bend.
My,
I
with my
end
head
up
literally-
with my head literally stuck inside my arse.
And then the little kid's colouring it in as you do.
That's mad. Is this stock?
It's not normal.
Do you think this is like?
not normal.
Is that stock footage? That is some weird stock footage.
Cassidy found a
What's going on
plastic
there?
tube
Okay,
designed
good spot.
to
That
keep
was mad.
flowers fresh and slipped one of her crayon pieces inside. This made it much easier for her to grip and control, and she realized that she was onto something. She filed a patent for crayon holders and then struck up a licensing deal. In addition to making it
She
easier
didn't
to
strike
use
up a
both of the
licensing
crayon,
deal.
her
I
design
refuse.
also
Her granddad did
showed
again. It's
her
always going to be the same
motor
thing.
skills. The waxy surface of
fuck
the
is that?
crayons can be difficult for some to deal with,
Thick
and the plastic
crayon.
holders
Your
make
kid
them
turns up with
easier
that.
to use.
I
Cassidy
made
was
this for
honored
you.
by
What
the
you saying?
Intellectual Property Owners
Get out.
Education Foundation for the Crayon Holder and was named Inventor of the Year in 2006. The profit she made from her invention completely paid for her college career and helped her get set up in New York City afterwards.
Come
We
on.
can't wait to see what she comes up with next. Mac Bundle Box. Lots of kids have heroes that they look up to. As far as idols go, former Apple CEO Steve Jobs is a pretty good one. When he was a teenager, Christian Owens was in awe of what Steve Jobs had accomplished. He had gotten his own computer at the age of 7, and 3 years later, he finally got his hands on a Mac. Immediately, he got to work teaching himself how to do
What's he
web
got his
design.
own
It started
computer
off basic at
by the
first,
time he
but
was
Christian
7?
worked hard.
Did his
and in
parents not just buy him
2008,
one?
he started his own company. Since he was so proficient at web design, he decided to help other people create their own websites. For a price, of course. At age 14, he created a website known
He
as
had no
Mac
friends, though.
Bundle Box.
100%.
It was inspired
Simon.
by
Hey.
Christian's
No.
company
He's
offered
laughing
many
now,
different bundled
but
package plans from
they
consumers
were
to
tough
choose
times,
from
you can
so
tell.
that they could create their own sites.
Van was
Not only
busy.
were his designs great, but his business
Oh yeah,
model
no,
was
he, you know,
creative
he's
and
banged
impressive.
it now.
He would negotiate
I'm just
with
saying,
developers
he's
for
14. You
discounts
see
on
him,
their
like,
apps, and then
he's
sell
sitting
it to
inside,
consumers for
sat
steep
inside all day
discounts.
making
If
this.
enough packages were purchased, new features would be unlocked for all buyers, which created a strong and dedicated community. Just to make things even better, he also donated a percentage of all his profits to charity.
What a good
Aw.
guy.
Fair. Do you remember this website before? Where you basically, the guy sold pixels on a
Yeah,
website.
every single one was an advert, and people just went and clicked him, and he made.
He made millions, yeah.
Yeah.
And all it was just one single page where it was just like, you'd pay for a square on the website.
Then people get bored and it stopped making money. Yeah.
Should we bring it back in 2021? It's a Sidemen page.
Can we just sell like space in a Sidemen video?
As in like an actual advert, like Super
our
Bowl.
outro screen or our intro screen.
I mean, we probably could.
You know, pay to be a pixel on the screen.
Oh,
I don't know
pixel on the
about that.
screen.
If they're not clickable, don't think that's going to work very well.
$100, $100. You get a pixel. I'll make sure of it. Hit me up if you want
He
to.
was 9 years old, and Johnson got his first commissioned work. His parents asked him to create some invitations for their annual holiday party, and they ended up being a huge hit with their guests. They asked Cameron to create more cards for them, and they were willing
Please
to
tell me
pay.
it's good.
Over the next 2 years, Cameron collected thousands of dollars from selling his greeting cards and decided to start his
Really
own
hope
company
they're good.
called Cheers and Tears. Greeting cards are great, but Cameron decided to diversify and make some investments. He paid $100 for his sister's TY Beanie Babies collection and made an investment back 10 times over by selling them individually online. It was so successful that he started buying them wholesale and selling them on his Cheers and Tears website. But don't worry, his fortune didn't hinge on Beanie Babies. He used his greeting card and Beanie Babies money to finance his next venture, an email forwarding program called Easy Mail, which was soon generating $3,000 per month in ad revenue. He came up with various other products and services, and by the time he was 15 years old, he was raking in between $300,000 to $400,000 per month. He graduated high school as a millionaire.
That doesn't add up. How's he gone from 3 grand
casually
a month to 300 grand?
Beanie Babies.
Yeah, Beanie Babies.
Here's the whole story, right? And about like how he made $2,000, $3,000 a month, like the process how he did that. Then he went, oh yeah, so then he did more stuff, but by 15 he was making this much.
Look, they didn't have time.
Where's the actual real story we wanted to know?
They're not giving out his secrets, okay? Because otherwise you copy him, mate.
Can we also clear up that's definitely not overnight?
True.
Like,
I mean, none of these are overnight.
No, they're all like, you know, it's an invention.
Here's an idea that's then turned it over, yeah.
He's basically just been an adult. And he just worked.
Since he was a kid, he's been an adult.
Barkery. When Ryan Kelly was
Shark
11
Tank.
years old, he appeared on an episode of Shark Tank where he pitched his idea to the investors. His idea was one that was simple, but had enormous potential. He wanted to sell his line of high-quality gourmet dog treats. Now that may sound sort of
I'd
silly,
try one.
but pet pampering is actually a huge
That's for a
industry.
dog.
And it's one that tends to stay profitable despite changes in economy. After pitching his pet-friendly products on Shark Tank, he struck a deal with Barbara, accepting a $25,000 investment for 25% of his
He did
business.
get scammed a
He
little
calls
bit.
his company Ryan's Barkery.
I mean, it's early though, it's early.
Yeah,
For
true.
his appearance on the show. Prior
seems
to Shark
like grooming.
Tank, he
What?
was making about $800.
She's now invested in him and she's now molding his childhood the way she wants it. Didn't say it was like. I'm just saying it's a little odd.
Easy scam.
Why can't I just be innocent? Why has it gotta be?
I don't know what they do with it. I don't know. Shark Tank.
Let's go.
I can do over there.
Appearance, he made $350,000 in just a few months. Ryan's Barkery was once a small business that he operated out of his home kitchen, but eventually expanded to a commercial kitchen. These dog treats are available in cheddar, pumpkin apple, and peanut butter. They're all grain-free and made in the United States. These treats are available online and in many retail chains, including Wegmans and Target. According to Ryan, Barbara taught him a lot about packaging and marketing, which helped his business grow even more. Workout Kid.
That's got to be so demoralizing for people that have like spent all their adulthood just like trying to work on something.
Ultimately, that idea wasn't anything new.
Nah.
I think she just saw the marketability of it.
Yeah, and
Maybe-
yeah, if it's been on Shark Tank and it's a kid, people are already going to be
It's
talking
easy,
about it.
easy clap, yeah.
Easy
Yeah.
clap, no cap.
Shake
Yeah, no.
Shack actually sells dog toys. You go on Deliveroo and go Shake
Dog
Shack at the
toys?
bottom. The dog treats, yeah, for the good boys or something. And it's just dog treats.
Smart. Sponsor us.
So that's so random.
Most kids exercise just running around, but young CJ Center took his workouts seriously. He signed up for Pee Wee football at the age of 5 and wanted to improve his physical abilities in order to play better. We all know that there are no shortage of exercise videos out there, but they're all targeted to adults. CJ saw an infomercial for the popular P90 exercise program, but noticed that there were no kids his age taking part.
I
He
wonder
spoke to
why.
his father
Oh my
and
God.
asked for help making his own exercise video to help his fellow kids learn how to get fit. According to CJ, there are some kids who can reach their fitness goals from just playing outside, but others struggle to get their daily steps in. With childhood obesity at an all-time high, CJ's videos launched at just the right time. His videos are kid-friendly and he teaches
Quite
them
smart,
to
to be
work
fair.
out with natural body resistance to avoid injury.
I reckon
They're
he'd beat me
popular
up.
because kids enjoy doing workouts along with
He's
children their own age, as it helps them feel inspired to reach their goals. Even CJ's parents are surprised by his drive and success, saying that he has always chosen to eat healthy and exercise all on his own with no prompting from them. Wristies. Like many kids, 10-year-old KK Gregory loved playing outside in the snow. One day, she was building a snow fort when she realized that her wrist was becoming sore. Anyone who has spent time outside in the snow knows what pain is when your gloves move away from the cuff of your jacket. Your wrist can then be exposed to the snow and end up freezing.
I can't why your
cold
wrist would
and
be sore. I was just
soaking
wondering
wet.
about
So, KK
Yeah, I didn't-
invented
yeah.
something that she calls Wristies.
God.
They're a type of sleeve designed to be worn under mittens and coats
Pretty
to make
smart.
sure that both articles of clothing stay in place. She had her Girl Scout troop try
It's
them out
alright.
and took notes on what her test audience liked and didn't like. Inventing a great
Wristies.
product was just the first step.
No
KK
bacon
claims
hanger.
that she learned so much about
I'm
business at a
sticking with
young
that.
age
That is
in
the
order
best
to bring
one.
Wristies to the public. She became the youngest person to ever get airtime on the QVC network and earned $22,000 in just 6 minutes. The money she made from Wristies allowed KK to travel all over the world before returning to take her place as CEO of Wristies. T-Packs. For parents, it can be hard to
They're
come
never
up with
mentioning
activities to
millionaires.
keep
They're always saying like 22,000. Quite a long way away from a millionaire.
That was just
Yeah,
on
she
the
came back to
first
be CEO of
first
the same
QVC
company.
show.
I know, but then she blew it all going to Thailand to find herself.
Kelly Reinhardt's parents came up with a creative idea one day when she was 6 years old. She and her siblings were tasked with coming up with an invention and drawing a picture of it. Kelly drew inspiration from seeing cowboys wearing gun holsters on television. She kept the holster in mind while she devised a thigh pack that was instead intended to carry portable video game systems. It came out so well that Kelly decided to show it to the
Surely
other
you can't
kids
millionaire
and get
from
their
that.
feedback about what they would look for in such a product. After tweaking her original design, her parents helped her create prototypes and apply for a patent. At first, they started out small by selling these T-Packs at local flea markets and
What
trade
game
shows.
console are
They
you putting
flew off
in
the
there?
shelves
I guess it's like-
so
it's like a
fast that
Game
they
Boy
could
or
barely
something.
keep up with the demand. Soon, they had people willing to invest in their
What era
company,
is it?
and Kelly's father
Well,
quit his job
I
to
don't
work
think
for
it's
his daughter's
exclusive
company. To
to
increase their profits, they used the
games.
proceeds to invest in other businesses
anything in there.
and made millions of dollars.
I swear
In
you see
2002,
like
Kelly
builders
said-
and stuff with those.
Yeah, I'm looking at the shape of that. I'm like, what console can you put in there? Like,
Game Boy and some
console,
games,
is it?
PSP and some games.
I was gonna say it's games in it, so you could have like a disc holder in there.
don't get it.
You could put you could Uno.
I don't
You
get
could put
it.
Uno in there if you wanted
How
to.
to
Why
become
you didn't invent it,
inventors.
Josh.
Which one of these kids do you think had the
She's
best
smarter
idea
than
for an
you.
invention?
Bacon or leaf.
Yeah, there's nothing else in
Putting
there
all
that
my
was
money
really
into the bacon
like
hanger.
Wristies, poo, not poo.
You know,
but
I actually
it's-
quite like the underwater speaker thing,
Talkies.
because I imagine like if you're like 8 years old, you're like, that's really cool. Like, oh my god, this lets us talk underwater. That's so cool. Like, let's get it and go in the sea and talk to each other.
It's
like,
an easy scam toy.
it's
Or it's gonna get guaranteed sales.
yeah,
Crap.
it's not very
Yeah.
useful, but I could see it being like a novelty.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, I've read around the bacon one. There's nothing else. I'm trying to think there's anything else in there that was good.
We're haters.
Bacon,
We're cynics.
bacon.
You would never make it through Sidemen's Dragon's Den. Get out of here.